Hey everyone, it's your girl Layla. Welcome back to my channel.
The grass ain't greener on the other side, no. You did me dirty for the last time, so now I gotta say goodbye.
So in today's video, I'm gonna be finally reviewing this perfume right here by Paris Corner in Khair Pistachio, and I've had this for quite a while now. I honestly didn't open it right away because I have this one right here, right? I have the Kayali version, so I am going to definitely give you guys a comparison. This is going to be very similar to my video comparing the Vanilla Candy Rock Sugar by Kayali to the Paris Corner version as well, so it's going to be very similar to that video. So yeah, let's get right into this. If you are not already subscribed, please go ahead, click that subscribe button below. I upload 3 times a week, Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday. And as you guys may or may not know, I love perfume. I love Arabic perfume. I love my Middle Eastern fragrances quite a lot. I have been obsessed with them for the past, year. So if you guys are into these types of videos, you want to see more of them, you want to see hauls and stuff like that, definitely hit that subscribe button because I love doing these types of videos. So yes, I'm gonna just get started with this first and then I'll go into this later on because I want this to be the star of the show. I want to be talking about this one right here, this beautiful fragrance by Paris Corner. So let's get started, and I'm going to talk about the bottle first. The bottle looks like all of the other ones from the Khair line. They do all have the same vibes with the packaging. It just looks like almost like a Princess Jasmine perfume. That's how I would describe it, like a Princess Jasmine perfume. If Princess Jasmine was a perfume, she would be this one. So it is beautiful, beautiful packaging. So the lid looks like this, very royal looking. Okay, so let's talk about the box really quick before we get into the perfume. So this is what the box looks like. It is so beautiful, you guys. It does look like all the other Paris Corner boxes, I will say. Like, all their packaging is absolutely amazing. So that is what box looks like. It does have the holographic logo right there on the back. So this was a love at first smell because I have this one already. I've had this one ever since it released. I think I got this probably a month after it released, and I got it in full size. This was a blind buy. I did not know I would like this one at all, but this is one of my favorite perfumes of all time. So when I got this one, I didn't open it right away because I was like, I already have this one. I already love it. What if I hate this one? I don't know. I had my opinions, but let me tell you, they honestly smell exactly the same. Yeah. Yeah, like I would say about like 95% the same fragrance, honestly. So again, we're gonna talk about this one first. I don't want to take the light and stuff away from this one. I'm gonna go into the notes first before I review the perfume for you. This one right here was released in 2023. The top notes in here are pistachio, ice cream, hazelnut, bergamot, cardamom, and rum. Middle notes in here are pear, jasmine, peony, raspberry, white peach, and geranium. Base notes in here are whipped cream, marshmallow, cotton candy, tonka bean, and cedar wood. You have to like its original version for you to like this one. So if you hate the Kayali Yum Pistachio Gelato, you are not gonna like this perfume at all because they are just so close in the way that they smell that if you hate that one, you are gonna absolutely hate this one as well. So let me just put that out there. If you're blind buying this, I highly recommend trying the Kayali version, going to Sephora and trying that one first before you decide to commit to buying this. However, this is pretty reasonably priced. When I first added it to my cart, it was like $45 Canadian, but then it went on sale for $29. So honestly, $29, Eau de Parfum 100 ml versus this one right here by Kayali, which is also Eau de Parfum 100 ml. This one I think is 187 or something like that, or 150. It's pretty expensive. And honestly, look at the packaging, you guys. Like, this one is so much cuter than this one. It really is. a lot cuter. I mean, I used to love this one, honestly. Don't get me wrong. I still love this one. But the packaging of this one is way cuter and it's definitely way more affordable. So even if you were to blind buy this after reading all the notes and stuff like that and what I'm about to describe to you, if you decide to blind buy this, it's not gonna break your bank, you know, versus buying the Kayali one, which is absolutely gonna break your bank if you decide to blind buy that one and absolutely hate it. Although Sephora has a really good return policy. But yeah, I do get this one from perfumeonline.ca or fragrancebuy.ca. They're both Canadian websites. They're both amazing companies and they sell a ton of Arabic fragrances. If you are looking for new releases from Lattafa and Paris Corner, they probably most likely have it, but I'm gonna go ahead and spray this before we talk about it. Even though I am very familiar with how this smells because I've had the Kayali version, like I said, since it released, and I think that was back in 2022. And I'm not a light sprayer with this one. I read some reviews of this one about how you should only spray it twice or something like that. I spray this pretty heavily for the most part because I love it. I love it that much. Okay, so the opening I will say is very powdery, just like its original Kayali version. It is powdery in the beginning. So if you do not like powdery scents, if you don't like baby powder, if you don't like I have a friend that really hates the smell of baby powder. I personally love it. I love powdery fragrances. That's just my vibe. I love Yara by Lattafa, which is also a powdery fragrance. But if you are not into like the soapy, powdery vibes, you are not gonna like the opening. You're not gonna like this fragrance based on the opening. But it does, the powderiness does eventually dissipate, but it's just in the beginning. It's already starting to dry down, but I still get that soapy vibe in here. What I love about this and the Kayali one as well is it is a gourmand fragrance. It's marketed as a gourmand fragrance, but it does also have its nuances of being a clean, powdery, fresh fragrance at the same time with that gourmand. Now, if I look in the month that the Kayali one was released, it was released in the springtime. It was released around March, I want to say. And I waited until it was a Sephora VIB sale before I actually purchased it. So I did get it in the springtime. It was released in the springtime and everyone was talking about it at the time, being like, why is a gourmand perfume that's supposedly really sweet being released in the springtime? Well, this is not just your typical gourmand. Like I said, it does have its clean and fresh, powdery, soapy nuances to it. I think honestly that makes it the perfect time to release this fragrance. It is not a winter heavy hitter, deep, sweet, sickly sweet caramel. I'm thinking of like Eclair by Lattafa. It's not at all that type of edible gourmand. This has definitely some beautiful nuances to it. So in the top, like I said, this one leans very powdery to me. So, I mean, I do get the pistachio, I do get the ice cream vibes, but again, it leans very powdery in the beginning, almost like the peony, jasmine, geranium, like the floral notes are at the top versus in the mid for me. And then the mid seems to be what I pick up later on because the ice cream, the bergamot, the pistachio, I do get all of that, but like in the middle when it starts to dry down a bit, it gets sweeter. And then the best part of this fragrance is once you've been wearing it for a few hours, you know, when the base notes come out to shine, when it's been on for a few hours, when you're at work and you're, you know, you're out walking around or something like that, you do get that gourmand, beautiful, sweet ice cream vibes with this one. So I definitely get that marshmallow, that cotton candy, that tonka bean, that whipped cream, that whipped ice cream feel, that like just being in a gelato shop with like pistachio gelato. That's what I get in the dry down, and it's absolutely beautiful. And it's kind of like a deeper dry down as well. It is still light and airy, but it has like some deep nuances to it where it's a little bit sweet. And I absolutely adore this fragrance. And I'm going to tell you about the Kayali one, like I said, in a bit, and my experience with that one. I like to kind of give you guys a picture of what I feel when I wear this fragrance. I did talk about it when I reviewed my Lattafa Hamra perfume, and I talked about being in a cabin in the woods in the winter and all that. Okay, this one, I'm going to describe this one to you. Okay, you're on vacation. You did your laundry first thing in the morning. You have a fresh, crisp white cotton dress that you just pulled out of the laundry, that you just ironed, and it's this beautiful linen clean smell. You put that on, it's spring, so it's not too hot outside, and you're walking down a cobblestone path in your white dress and you're going to a gelato shop. And once you get in that gelato shop, you're gonna look at, you know, all the flavors of gelato, and then your eye goes right to the pistachio one. You add a little bit of whipped cream to the top of that, and you're in that gelato shop just enjoying, you know, the fresh cleanness of the air from your clean white dress. And you're looking outside, it's sunny, it's a little bit warmer now because it's a little bit later in the day, and you're looking at those cobblestone streets while enjoying your pistachio gelato with the whipped cream on top. That's what I picture when I wear this fragrance. That is the vibes that I get from wearing this fragrance. This is something that I want to travel with, and it is just an amazing, amazing fragrance. I will say sillage and all that is pretty basic. I mean, basic as in, like, think about Kayali perfumes. Think about Kayali perfumes that you get from Sephora. This is basically that. It's basically giving the same amount of sillage. I would say the sillage in this one is pretty moderate. I have worn this to work a handful of times and I've gotten compliments on it, and people haven't been that close to me. They've been kind of close to me, but like, you know, not all up in my face at the same time. So this one actually projects quite well. It's definitely moderate. It's definitely very similar to Khair Confection as well. I would say they're both very similar fragrances as in lasting power and all that. This one I would say lasts a little bit longer than Khair Confection, but not as long as its Kayali counterpart. So yes, this one I would say lasts between 6 to 7 hours on the skin until I stop smelling it. So that is that. I mean, if you have issues with the Kayali version lasting on you, you might want to try this one. But I personally, when I first bought the Kayali one, I don't know if I was wearing it when it was too hot outside or whatever, but this one did not last on me at all. This one would last up to like maybe 3 hours. It really sucked with its lasting power when I first got it, but then I started wearing it in slightly colder temperatures and stuff like that, and this lasts on me forever now. This lasts on me 8 to 9 hours, so lasts a little bit longer than the Paris Corner version. But as you can see, I also have used quite a bit. Guys, my battery is dying, so I'm gonna be talking about this one really quickly. So like I said, I think that it's basically a 95% match to the Paris Corner version, but this one does last a little bit longer. I will say this is on some beast mode sometimes, right? I have some days where this performs insanely well. Like, for example, one time I went to work, an 8-hour shift from 7 a.m. till 3 p.m., went home, changed really quick, and then went to a spin class, and I could smell this all throughout my spin class. I didn't even reapply it, nothing like that at all, and it still smelled just, you know, just as strong as when I first sprayed it. So I am very just impressed with this one. Like I said, it's definitely one of my favorite perfumes that I own. So the notes in here are pistachio, ice cream, bergamot, hazelnut, rum and cardamom on top. Very similar to the other one. Okay, the middle notes are a bit different in here. Lily of the Valley, pear, jasmine, peony, geranium, white peach, and raspberry. Still very similar to the Paris Corner version. The base notes in here are whipped cream, marshmallow, cotton candy, tonka bean, locum, which is Turkish delight, sandalwood, cacao, and cedar. So honestly, I don't get that cacao note at all in this one. They smell very similar. So how I described the Paris Corner Khair Pistachio is how I'm going to describe this one as well. It opens up very powdery. The powderiness in this one I feel like lingers a little bit more than the Paris Corner version. However, it does dry down to the same sweet gourmand pistachio ice cream scent. This one on the back does have some fragrance notes actually on the bottle. It does say pistachio gelato, hazelnut, sweet rum, whipped cream, marshmallow, and cotton candy. And I definitely do get those gourmand sweet notes, the marshmallow and the cotton candy. I definitely do get that in the dry down for both versions of the fragrance. But yes, it's crazy how similar these two smell to each other. Like, it's just the exact copy of this one. But yeah, like, overall, love these. Do you need both of them? Absolutely not. If you have this one already, you don't need this one. However, I was really curious. I really wanted to know if the hype was real on this one, if it smelled even remotely close to this one. But again, like a 95% exact match. So I love this fragrance enough to keep both of them in my collection. I love this fragrance enough to wear this. You know, I wore this for like probably 3-4 months straight at one point. That's why I've used so much of it. So honestly, I would keep both of them in my collection, but if you do have one, you definitely do not need the other. So I'm hoping that I helped you guys decide on which fragrance you want, if you wanted the Kayali version or if you wanted this version. I do have a full review on the Kayali version on my channel as well, from back when it first released back in 2022. I don't think it has that many views, to be honest. I think it has like maybe 100 views on that video, but because there were so many people putting out reviews at the same time of this fragrance when it first released, everyone was going crazy for this one. So definitely go ahead and check this one out if you are interested. I will leave it linked in the description box as well as in the pinned comment. And yeah, this is not sponsored. I do hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you are not already subscribed, please go ahead and click that subscribe button below. I upload 3 times a week, Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I will see you guys soon with a new video. Bye.
I let you